History is full of bizarre surprises. From swan ownership to rabbit attacks, get ready for the top 5 weirdest facts you won't believe actually happened. Number 5. Napoleon's rabbit army attack. Napoleon Bonaparte, one of history's greatest military minds, was known for his countless victories on the battlefield. But in 1807, he faced an army he could not defeat, an army of rabbits. Yes, rabbits. To celebrate a treaty signing, Napoleon organized a rabbit hunt for himself and his men. His staff collected hundreds, possibly thousands of rabbits, releasing them into a field for the event. But what started as a lighthearted activity turned into chaos when the rabbits charged straight at Napoleon and his men. Rather than scattering in fear, the rabbits swarmed. Some even jumped onto Napoleon's carriage. Historians speculate that the rabbits had been domesticated and mistook the men for food providers, leading to the bizarre attack. Napoleon and his generals tried to fight them off, but the relentless creatures kept advancing. The sight of one of the most powerful men in history fleeing from a herd of bunnies is both hilarious and humbling. It's a reminder that even the great Napoleon wasn't immune to life's absurdities. This unexpected defeat left Napoleon fleeing the field in shock and amusement. Imagine the mighty emperor running from a herd of bunnies. History can be ironic, can it? But here's the bigger question. What other quirky moments from the lives of powerful figures are hidden in history books, waiting to be uncovered? Stay tuned, because the next fact is even weirder. Number 4. The Olympic art competitions. Believe it or not, the Olympics weren't always just about sports. From 1912 to 1948, the Games awarded medals for art. Yes, you could win gold for painting, sculpture, music, or even architecture. This unique chapter in Olympic history combined physical excellence with creative brilliance. The competitions aimed to celebrate the union of art and sport, requiring all submissions to have an athletic theme. Artists from around the world competed alongside athletes, with judges awarding medals in each category. Imagine an Olympic painter standing next to a gold medal sprinter at the podium. What a surreal sight. One of the strangest entries was a set of designs for a stadium which won gold in architecture. Meanwhile, music compositions celebrated victories and sculptures captured moments of athletic glory. It was a mix of culture and competition that's hard to imagine today. The program ended in 1952. When the International Olympic Committee decided art wasn't amateur enough to fit the Games. Yet the concept left a lasting legacy, showing that the human spirit excels in both physical and creative endeavors. What if we brought this idea back today? Could modern art, inspired by sports, find its place in the Olympics again? And if so, would it spark the same excitement as a 100-meter dash or a diving final? Stay tuned. Our next bizarre historical fact will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the past. Number 3. Alexander the Great was buried alive. One of history's most shocking mysteries is tied to Alexander the Great. After his death in 323 BCE, his body showed no signs of decomposition for 6 whole days. While ancient Greeks saw this as proof of his divine heritage, modern scholars suggest something far more chilling. Alexander might not have been dead at all. Historians believe Alexander suffered from Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare neurological condition that caused paralysis. This condition slowed his breathing and heartbeat to such an extent that he appeared lifeless, even to the skilled physicians of his time. Imagine being buried while still alive, unable to move or scream as your body was entombed. What's even more eerie is the embalming process. Alexander's body was carefully prepared, further delaying any noticeable decay. Some even say his body was preserved to an unnatural degree, adding to the mystery surrounding his death. This theory raises unsettling questions. How many others throughout history might have been mistakenly declared dead? And what does this tell us about the limits of ancient medicine? Alexander's story remains one of history's most haunting tales, a reminder that even the most powerful conquerors weren't immune to the mysteries of life and death. Stay with us. Our next story reveals a royal obsession that's as strange as it is fascinating. Number 2. Human bones in Benjamin Franklin's basement. Benjamin Franklin, one of the most celebrated founding fathers of the United States, harbored a chilling secret beneath his London home. In 1998, during renovations of the property, over 200 human bones were discovered buried in the basement, a discovery that shocked historians and the public alike. Initially, theories of murder circulated widely. Was Franklin hiding a darker side? But as investigators dug deeper, pun intended, they uncovered a more plausible explanation. The bones were linked to the work of Franklin's close friend, Dr. William Hewson, a pioneering anatomist of the 18th century. Hewson conducted medical experiments and dissections in Franklin's home, which doubled as an anatomy school. At the time, obtaining cadavers for study was both illegal and controversial. Many medical students resorted to body snatching, stealing corpses from graveyards to further their research. It's believed that Franklin, ever the supporter of scientific progress, allowed Hewson to use his home for these secret studies. Still, the idea of Franklin, a man synonymous with liberty and innovation, living above a basement filled with human remains, is both fascinating and unnerving. It sheds light on the lengths early scientists went to in pursuit of knowledge, even if it meant crossing ethical boundaries. So, what do you think? Does this tarnish Franklin's legacy, or does it highlight his commitment to advancing science? Stay tuned for our final story. It's the most bizarre one yet. Number 1. Queen Elizabeth, I owned all the swans in England. In 16th century England, Queen Elizabeth I had an unusual and rather extravagant claim. She legally owned all the swans in the country. This wasn't just a royal whim. There was an actual law that granted the British monarchy ownership of all unmarked mute swans swimming in open waters. Swans were considered a delicacy at royal feasts, and owning them was a symbol of wealth and status. The Queen's ownership extended across England, with officials known as Swan uppers, tasked with counting and marking the swans to ensure no one else dared to claim them. Even today, the British monarchy retains this ancient right. Every year, a tradition called swan upping takes place, where the Queen's swan markers travel along the River Thames to count and assess the swan population. It's fascinating to think that a bird as graceful as a swan could carry such historical significance. This quirky law not only highlights the peculiarities of royal traditions, but also gives us a glimpse into the extravagance of Elizabethan England. From royal swans to ancient traditions, these stories remind us of the fascinating quirks hidden in history. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating tales from the past.